Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, Warrocks can beat Tier 0? That's right, this is a clickbait thumbnail, albeit. If you just have things like Kaiser Coliseum, Dimensional Fissure, Dimension Shifter, etc., to just entirely stop your opponent from playing the game, yeah, oftentimes you can win. Crazy. So let's quickly explain what this deck is and how it overall functions. So Warrocks, if you don't know, are a battle-centric archetype that gain effects if an Earth Warrior monster battles. Forthia can search during damage calculation, or after damage calculation. Wento has the ability to boost before damage calculation. We have Mahmood, which can pop a spell trap. Mahmood. Meteoragon also along with Basileos, have the ability to, after that turn, if an Earth Warrior were to battle during the battle phase, you can boost monsters by 200, and then also this one can do a second attack and is indestructible by opponent's card effects. And then Basileos can special summon himself if a monster is destroyed by battle, and also is able to boost to attack directly, similar to the Meteoragon. These all have the ability to gain attack points after damage calc. I don't know why it's not before damage calculation, but alas, who cares, right? So, there you go. The two Wento, the one Mahmood, the double Meteoragon, and the one Basileos. We're not playing Gakdos because we are playing Kaiser Coliseum. Kaiser Coliseum says if there are one or more monsters on the field of the controller of this card, his or her opponent cannot place monsters on the field if his or her number of monsters would exceed the number of monsters that are on the field of this card's controller. Basically saying, hey, if you have one monster, your opponent cannot summon a monster if it would be more than one. Meaning, they could still summon a monster, but they'd have to use the monster on field for that summon. So if they go for like a fusion summon, they'd have to use the monster on field for that fusion summon. If they go for something like Snow, for example, Fairy Tail Snow, they'd have to banish the monster on field in order to summon that monster. Seems very weird, but notably the cards that are already on the field are not affected by this card's effect. So if they have 4 monsters on the field and you summon a monster and then activate the Kaiser Coliseum, those monsters will stay on the field. They're not going to go anywhere. So there's that. But this is overall, first of all, it is a very horribly worded card. I hate the way that this card is worded. It's just very silly. Similar to like Inspector Border, but less obnoxious. But yeah, still very stupid. But overall, it's, Kaiser Coliseum. Then we have, of course, the triple dimensional fissure as well for additional floodgates. We're also playing the 2-dimension shifter because, hey, we don't really need anything in our graveyard. Might as well play some very, very strong options for anti-tier stuff. So there's that. Of course, we're also playing Maxi, triple of that. We're also playing double Imperm for additional going second options, along with the Shifter, the Imperm, and the Maxi. These just happen to be some of the best ones. As for the rest of our cards, Harpy's Feather Duster, Rhoda, because we're playing Warriors, the Prospy, as well as triple Extra. We don't really need the extra deck, so banishing it is totally fine. And then the last card that is not archetypal is... two called by as well. And then the last card that's not archetypal is Soul Drain. It's just Soul Drain. As for the rest of the cards, for the Warrock spells, we are playing Triple Mountain. Mountain is a search card, while it also protects you from battle. And if you go to the battle phase, you can special summon a Warrock with a different name from your hand than the cards on the field. So if you have a Forthia, you can't special summon a second one onto the field. Also, all of these cards are hard ones for turns, because why would they not be? That just makes sense, right? Next up, we have Warrock Medium. This is actually a kind of pseudo floodgate. If your opponent controls a special summon monster while you control a level 7 or higher Warrock monster during main phase 1, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field. This is such a terrible floodgate, but it's technically a floodgate, so hey, there's that. However, it does have a much better effect. During the main phase, during your main phase, any of the main phases, you can set a Warrock spell trap directly from the deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except for warrior monsters. So, it does lock you into warriors, but it gives you access to Mountain as well as Dignity, the last card. This is just a monster / spell trap negate. During the battle phase, it is able to negate spells and traps. However, during the main phase, it's just monsters your opponent controls that it can negate. It's just a quick play negate. It's pretty simple. As for the extra deck, we are playing 1 Chalkanine and 1 Borbo to go into a double Zeus. We're also playing the double Baguska to at least have a bit of a better chance with Pot of Extrav to keep the Baguska. We have double Mrs. Radiant because we're all Earths. We have Cerberus, we have Phoenix, we have double Flame Swordsman. This is very funny. It's basically just a warrior that is also able to special summon a warrior monster from the grave if it's destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect. So there's that. We have double Virus Swordsman and double BLS. BLS is from the structure deck, so if you don't have it, don't worry about that. It's not too necessary. It comes up occasionally, but it's not too necessary. Anyway, that's it for the replays. Let me show you the person who actually made this deck and their deck list first, and then we'll go into the replays. Alright, so shout out to Sen who came up with this idea. Being able to utilize, you know, things like Kaiser Coliseum and Floodgates is not necessarily something that I would have ever really thought of. So, yeah, there you go. I always just think, oh, I'll just play it going second. And honestly, it works most of the time. You could just like DPE or Baguska or Zeus or stuff like that. So, there you go. But, yeah, the very interesting way of building things and definitely works. So, there you go. Alright, so here we are going first with War Rocks, and hey, look at that, Kaiser Coliseum and Medium. Pretty decent. So we're going to start off with the Kaiser Coliseum, or sorry, the Medium. We're going to activate the effect of the Medium in order to set Dignity, and then activate the Kaiser Coliseum, normal summon Wento, and set the Infip. The reason we go for the Dignity instead of something like a mountain here is because since we already have the Wento, there isn't really a better search target, and we can just go Medium on the following turn in order to grab up the mountain. But mountain would be good. My opponent goes to battle. We go for the Meteoragon, yada yada. It's okay. I think having a second negate specifically for evenly matched is very good. So there's that. My opponent is going to go and activate Snow. I'm going to imperm that. Just don't want my monster to go face down, and then they're going to go to battle, and no. Goodbye, Snow. Alright, my opponent is then going to go for the Keldo, pitch the Kelbeck, and then they are going to grab up a Kelbeck. They're going to go for the Kelbeck here, mill a whole bunch of cards. Doesn't really matter. They milled insanely well, though, so there's that, and we didn't really hit anything. So, yeah, cool. And they're going to pass, and hey, look at that, another Floodgate, fantastic. We're going to activate the Dimensional Fissure, and then activate the Medium, going for the Warrock Mountain. Mountain will then grab up with the Forthia, we will normal summon that, go to the battle phase, and special summon out our Meteoragon. We're going to attack in with Meteoragon, which will then banish the Keldo, also negating its effect. And then we are going to boost up while searching with the Forthia. We searched out the Bachilios just as an additional way to protect ourselves, and then we're going to link off into the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. The only reason we're going for this is to get less monsters on the field for the Kaiser Coliseum. I could have linked off everything, but since we do have Warrock Dignity and we have Medium, that's what we're doing, and we're keeping the Meteoragon. So, yeah. They can't activate anything on field, at least during main phase 1. They're going to go for the Solar Recharge, draw 2, banish 2 Shufflers, fantastic. And then they're going to go for the Snow. Sure. Now, they've never read Medium, and no one has, so there's that. Out comes the Baguska, and again, that's totally fine. I don't really have an out to it as of yet, but hopefully we can draw into something here. We could also go for the Medium as well, in order to grab up another monster with our Mountain. So we're going to do the Mountain Shuffle and grab up Forthia, which will then allow us to normal summon it, and then just link off all of those into a big BLS. They're still locked under the Kaiser Coliseum while they can activate monster effects on the field. That's fine. We now have a big untargetable 4,500 monster that my opponent can only out with a single monster. So there you go. They're going to go for the Scream. They're going to go for the Sheeran, banishing additional cards for some reason, and they didn't really hit anything, so yeah, this game is just over. My opponent's just kind of elongating it. Anyway, we draw into Dignity. Sure, that's fine. We're going to go for the last of the Warrock Mountains. Warrock Mountain is then going to search out the last, I believe it's the last Forthia. I could be wrong. I think we still have one more. Anyway, we're going to normal summon the Forthia, special summon the Bachilios. They're going to, I don't know, search, do some stuff. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to go to the battle phase here. We're going to activate our Forthia to grab up a Dignity because it's funny, and then banish their last card, turning off their Snow. So we're just going to go to battle, and that's the end of the game. Cool. Look at that. We can beat tier. Trust. Alright, now how does this deck actually do going second? We didn't draw any interactions, so I don't know, maybe we do something here? It's Spright. Okay, maybe we don't do anything. Let's see what we can do. Gigantic Spright is going to be summoned, and they're going to go for the blue. Blue grab Jet, Jet grab Smashers, or Starter. Activate starter, go for red. Okay. Well, I mean, if our Spright player is this bad, sure, we'll be fine. They're then going to go... Melfi? Melfi of the Forest. Oh. Okay. Well, that becomes more problematic than just a Djinn Buster, and they're going to set one and pass into Caddy. Okay. This is very doable. We don't actually activate that many monster effects, all things considered, so we should be fine here. We're going to draw into Pot of Extravagance. Fantastic. We're going to fire that immediately, to the which they will Ash, to the which we will Called By, and then they will activate their one of... Cross out. Love to see it. They're also going to activate their Spright Elf here, and bring back the Jet. Chain Link 5, by the way. Cool. They're going to go for Jet, grab starter. Sure, that's fine. Now we're going to go for the Warrock Mountain, since they didn't decide to negate there. But we can go for the Meteor Dragon. We're going to normal summon the Fortia, and they are going to go for Caddy, and we're going to have to negate that. I don't really want to deal with another Omni Negate, specifically because we do need to activate our Mountain. We are then going to go to the battle phase, walk over the red with Meteor Dragon, activating its effect. Now, notably, this card cannot be destroyed by card effect, so even if they were to detach and to negate the effect, it doesn't do anything. Well, I am negating them. They're just getting a monster off of the field that I didn't have to deal with myself. So, fantastic. So we're just going to deal with that and grab up Medium to have at least a Floodgate. We're then going to go for the Meteor Dragon, punch over the opponent's monster, and then punch over the last one as well. So, yeah, we basically clear the field with just Jet left. Then we can go for Medium into Dignity. So now, during the main phase 1, they can't really do anything, but we do also have Dignity. My opponent is going to switch the Jet to attack position, and hey, guess what? Evenly Matched is coming. I'm going to grab up Dignity, because why not? Out comes the Evenly Matched. Luckily, this happens in battle phase, so we can still activate our Dignity to negate the spell. The trap. So, that just turns it off, and fantastic. They're going to go for starter here, and at this point, they can just play the game. Cool. Fantastic. Medium is such a terrible card. It's so bad. But alas, here we are. They're going to go for Elf, they're going to go for the Jet grab Smashers, and then they're going to Z into Spright. Gigantic Spright, that is. And then they're going to go for the Caddy, then activate Smashers, and, well, okay, I guess our Floodgate is turned off now, but we should be fine, right? We can go Medium, and... well, that's not the best of draws. We can go Medium and grab ourselves another of the Warrock Mountain. So we're going to activate the Warrock Mountain, to which they will Ash. Okay, that's fine. So, notably, if you have two Warrocks, and you crash a Warrock, one of the Warrock, or both of the Warrocks are able to activate here, because they specifically need to be able to increase another Warrock monster's attack in order for them to resolve their effect. So, if you have two Warrocks, you can crash one, both of their effects will be activatable. Now, here it's both Fortias, but they're basically going to, at this point, I could also activate the dying Fortia's effect in order to gain, or in order to search. Anyway, so we're going to attack and grab up the Basileos. Now, notably, Basileos was there when a monster was destroyed by battle, which means that we can go and attack over for 29, also turning on our Floodgate once again. So I'm feeling pretty confident. And with the Dignity, even if they were to go into Zeus, we are able to negate the Zeus. So I'm feeling, again, very good. My opponent is just going to fiddle around, realize that they need to go to the battle phase. We're going to use the Warrock Mountain to just get rid of, or to keep our Basileos so that we can keep our Floodgate online. And then out comes the Downward into the Zeus. They're then just going to activate the Zeus, and I'm going to negate that with Dignity. Good thing we searched that one. So we're going to negate that. They were going to then normal summon the Beaver and go for Beaver effect in order to go for the Sky Centuria. And then just pass the turn. Now at this point, all I need to do is walk into the opponent's monster, either one, doesn't really matter, walk into it, Basileos activate its effect, and then attack directly. I'm not going to do that because I'm mean. First of all, we start off with the Pot of Extravagance, because of course we do, and then we are able to draw into, well, useless cards. We're going to activate the effect of our Medium in order to go into the Warrock Mountain. Mountain will then grab up the Wento. Wento will then be normal summoned. We will proceed to the battle phase and special summon out our Meteor Dragon. We're then going to attack into the Zeus, boost up ourselves over the Zeus with the Wento, and then activate all of our other effects. We're going to grab up the Mahmood, we're going to gain an additional attack, and then attack into the Sky Centurion, turning it off, meaning that we can walk over it, and then attacking for well over lethal. Good game. Alright, and here we are once again going first, and this game is to show off what both of our decks are technically supposed to do. They both do their job brilliantly, and yeah, you'll just see. We're gonna grab the Fortia. Realistically, it probably should have been Wento, but it's fine. We're gonna set to and pass. We have the Maxi. I'm feeling pretty confident. We're gonna just shoot off that Maxi, just and then my opponent is going to set the re and pass. Okay, well, this is not looking too great for me. It's probably Floodgate or Burn or something like that. And, yeah, cool. We're going to go Pot of Extravagance and find off of the top. Harpy's Feather Duster. Well, that seems fantastic. They're going to go for the Cosmic Cyclone here. A bit odd. They're going to hit the Called By. That's fine. And then I see that they are on Cylinder, Macrocosmos. So, yeah, it's probably just Burn at this point. Not really feeling too good about this, but hey, at the very least, like, we dealt with their back row. At the very least, we have that, right? We're going to go for the Warrock Mountain. We're going to grab up the Wento. I don't know why I go for the Wento here. I genuinely don't. I feel like it definitely should have gone for a level 5 or higher, but alas, I didn't. I should have gone for Meteoragon, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, we're going to pass the turn with the Soul Drain as well as the Warrock Dignity, and then my opponent is going to reveal that they are on Ancient Warriors. Well, shoot. So they're going to normal summon a monster and then activate their effect. I'm going to activate Soul Drain, but I didn't realize that this is only on monsters. So, yeah, they still have the ability to activate their spell traps in the grave. I am going to negate their normal summon there, but then they are going to special summon out the Savage Dawn Yin, which I didn't realize was going to be a special summon, so I should have maxied that. But yeah, I'm going to negate that. Then they are going to special summon the Valiant... I'm not going to try and say these names, I'm not going to lie. So they're going to special summon out this guy and proceed to battle. I'm going to protect the Fortia because, hey, I kind of need that. Not really, but I'm going to search out the Bachilios here. They're going to go to the battle phase, and I am going to punish them for attacking into my Fortia. So yeah, Wento is able to boost up there, and out comes the Double Dragon Lords. They're going to add it to their hand, a Rebellious Lu Feng. I'm not going to lie, this card is just so hilarious. You can special summon it from your hand by controlling the highest attack Ancient Warrior monster on the field, even if it's tied. I just love the summoning condition. It's so hilarious. And yeah, there you go. Anyway, at this point, this is kind of looking scary. We do have 4 cards in hand, which is nice, but honestly, none of those cards really do anything in the face of Oath. And I draw for turn a Shifter, which also isn't very good. We're going to activate our Warrock Mountain, which will be promptly negated, which really sucks. But yeah, I kind of needed the Meteoragon. That's fine. We're going to just search out the Fortia, normal summon it, and then proceed to the battle phase and special summon the Bachilios. My opponent will then utilize their Oath in order to bounce the Bachilios. That is a horrible mistake, and I will show you why in a second. I've already kind of shown you the little trick. We're going to walk in with the Fortia, activate the effect in order to grab up the Dignity, because we need a negate, and then special summon out the Bachilios. Now, Bachilios is able to actually boost up, and now I could have just immediately attacked directly, but it's funnier this way. So we're going to boost up, use the Wento in order to boost even bigger, and then attack in with the Wento, clearing their field, punching them real hard, as both the decks are wont to do. Both Ancient Warriors and Warrocks basically got to prove, hey, I'm the stronger person here. I don't know how we both did that, but we both did. Alright, so here we are once again going first, and hey, look at that. That is the exact hand that we want to see. Let's freaking go. We're going to start off with the Pot of Extrav, which will promptly be ashed, because of course it will be. And then we will just activate our Mountain in order to search out a Fortia. We're then going to activate our, we're going to normal summon the Wento. We're going to activate our Medium in order to set the Dignity, and then activate our Kaiser Colosseum and pass the turn. Feeling pretty good. So my opponent is going to start off by normal summoning the Alubur. I will promptly negate that, to the which they will activate Lost and then pass because they don't know. Yep, Kaiser Colosseum, that's why. Anyway, we're going to go for the medium here. We're going to do the Mountain Shuffle, go and activate our Mountain, and search up the Mahmood because I don't want to deal with Lost. We're then going to normal summon the Fortia, and then special summon out the Mahmood, and then proceed to battle, deal a whole bunch of damage, and pop their back row, as well as getting an additional search of Dignity. Fantastic. We're going to attack in, and again, deal a whole bunch of damage. And then in main phase 2, we are going to just link all of those off for a big guy. He's just big. He doesn't really do anything. He's just big. But alas, under Kaiser Colosseum, it should be pretty good. My opponent goes and normal summons Fallen Bulbas and then can't activate the effect. I don't know why that's the case, but it is. Again, I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't click Fallen Volbaz's effect. Anyway, they're going to then go for the polymerization here, and fusion into Lubellion. They're then going to activate the effect of the Lubellion, and they also pitch Retribution, which means that they can grab back their Lost, which is kind of painful, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you could go for your Fusion Summon. That's totally fine. Using the monster on field in order to go for the Mirror Jade. They're then going to go for the Lost, activate the Mirror Jade effect, and banish my monster. Oh no! They're going to go to the battle phase, and I'm going to then be able to special summon out my Meteoragon. I'm going to turn off my opponent's monster, and then use my Mountain to protect myself. We also still have Dignity here, but they were going to set the Branded in red. At this point, I'm like, maybe I can go to the battle phase and prevent my opponent from actually activating that Branded in red. Anyway, we're going to start off with the Mountain, and we are going to grab ourselves the Mountain, start with Medium, grab the Mountain, grab Wento, and then proceed to the battle phase, to the which I will negate my opponent's monster. They will activate the Branded in red, and hey, look at that, you activated it in the battle phase, die. Anyway, we're going to activate our effect, and we still don't have lethal, which is frustrating, but alas, what can you do? And I'm just going to crash, except not crash. They just died. Cool. We're going to set to 2 and pass, and hey, where did my monsters go? I thought they activated the Mirror Jade. They did! However, Meteoragon just negates the card for the whole turn. Yep. It does cool things when it works. Anyway, my opponent is going to then... yeah, concede. It makes sense. You know, floodgates and stuff. Cool. Alright, we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, I don't know if this version is better than just playing a myriad of going second cards, like Evenly Matched, Lightning Storm, etc., because both of them kind of accomplish the same thing. Just sack your opponent, you know? Sometimes you draw Kaiser Coliseum against a deck that needs more than one monster, and sometimes you draw Dimensional Fissure against Tear. Like, it's really all that. It's not really doing a whole lot outside of that. You basically rely on your Floodgates or you die. Sometimes you can kind of do things outside of that. I mean, being able to go second is still not bad if you have the ability to walk over your opponent's cards, like against Spright or something like that. But most of the time, if it's Tear or if it's, you know, if you're playing in gold and it's Blue Eyes, yeah, you can't out Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is just too powerful. It's legitimately that strong. It's obnoxiously overpowered against this deck. So yeah, there you go. I like the deck. It's just like a funny, silly deck that you can play. The second Meteoragon does come up, so do keep that in mind. Normally I would only play the one, but alas, I did actually craft the second because I have problems. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, I like us very much, so appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.